Hello and welcome to the Two Ace Podcast, the podcast designed to help you manifest your Two Ace mindset. My name is Josh Brooks and my one focus is success through the art of discipline and flow. I hope you enjoy the episode. Now let's get right into it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is you're joining me. I hope you're having a good one. And today I'm going to be talking about perspective. Now, perspective is important, and it's important because in order to achieve your goal, it is necessary to have a change in perspective along the way so you can make sure your idea, your goal, your habits are all consistent with how you're going to go about becoming the person that achieves that goal. Now, what do I mean? So, a perspective shift is a necessary change in order to make an important decision, I find. And an example of a perspective change that you might endure is that if you're getting into really good habits during the summer, you're waking up early, you're going on runs, you're stretching, you're doing all this, you're doing all that, and you have the idea of, you know what, I'm going to run a marathon, and I'm going to train, and it's going to be great. Yeah, it's all well and good doing this all through summer, doing the training through summer, but when it hits winter, the perspective shift of an external environment, perspective may come in seasons, it may come from within, may come from outside of us. A perspective shift, you can force a perspective shift by putting yourself in another environment. You can force a perspective shift by asking someone else about their opinion on something. You can force a perspective shift by asking yourself questions and going to different places, reading about different things. Yeah, so anyway, back to the example of a marathon. So if you have these good habits in summer, and in winter comes, the external perspective shift forces you to really think. And if you truly want to do the marathon, you will remain consistent in your habits and within your goal through winter. Now, it's going to be a lot harder because it doesn't get light until about 8 a.m. in winter. It's cold, it's wet, it's not the nicest to be running in. And for some people, that might reduce motivation, thus resulting in the goal of running a marathon being pushed back, being procrastinated, or maybe even forgotten. And that perspective shift of it getting into winter has clearly shown the idea of running a marathon was only a good idea when the weather was nice. Because you have the motivation to get out of bed and run. Because it's light from 5 a.m. And it doesn't go dark until later on in the evening. So just that example of running, really, it's quite good in terms of how a perspective shift can influence things. So like I said, it is a necessary change in order to make an important decision. And if your answer is consistent through multiple perspectives, like summer, winter, all the different seasons, if you still want to do that marathon through each season, then well done. Keep going. You got it. The perspective shift proved to yourself that you're heading in the right direction. You got to overcome some challenges sometimes in order to reach where you want to be. And then you know what you must do, and that the idea wasn't just spontaneous and a good idea in the moment. And I'm going to leave you with this question. And I'd like you all to think about this for a little bit, and maybe you'll figure out an answer. Maybe you won't. And if you ask yourself this question in multiple perspectives, if you ask yourself it right now, wherever you're listening to this, have a little think. And then maybe later, maybe next week or something, where when you're in a different environment, when you're with different people, when you're in a different headspace, ask yourself this: who is truly wealthy? An emperor enjoying the finest meat in the world, or a peasant who hasn't eaten in weeks, who has been invited for some soup? Who is truly wealthy in that scenario? And that is a perfect example of perspective. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity. As always, remain consistent, achieve dreams. I've been your host, Josh. 2 Ace, 1 Focus.